Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Shelly Speaks Truth right here on TooRawForTV.tv. If you are here for the first time, welcome, and thank you very much for being here. If you are returning, thank you very much for coming back. Now, what we do around here, for those who don't know, is when we start the show, we are streaming from a few other platforms. So you may be watching us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X, I believe. Any of those other streaming platforms.
Yeah,
but that is only for a portion of the show. If you would like to see the entirety of the show, you will have to come over to 2rawfortv.tv. That is the number 2, raw, the number 4, tv.tv. So once those platforms end, if you are watching there, please come on over to 2rawfortv.tv. And joining me is my co-host Dre.
Peace. Peace.
And for those of you who saw the thumbnail, you do know that we will be talking about the Shannon Sharpe situation tonight that is blowing up all over social media. And there's varying opinions on the situation. I will be discussing how I feel about the case and a few other things. But again, thank you very much for being here. The phone lines will be opening soon, so you can call in. I'm sure the phone number will be presented on our screen. So again, if you would like to comment, if you have any questions or anything like that, the phone lines will be open and you are free to call in and share your thoughts. Now, unless you have been living under a rock, you have probably seen on any of your social media platforms that the headline that states Shannon Sharpe has been hit with a $50 million civil suit, and he is being accused of sexual assault, battery, and harassment by a woman that has been identified at the moment as Jane Doe. So unless within the past few hours her identity has been released, as far as we know, she is going by Jane Doe at the moment. Now, for people who may not know who Shannon Sharpe is, he is a former NFL, I think, Hall of Famer, if I'm correct. And now he is the host of the very popular podcast Club Shay Shay. That's where a lot of people from the newer generation may know him from. You may know him from Club Shay Shay, where he is the host. And unfortunately, he has found himself in the middle of this mess with this $50 million lawsuit from this unidentified woman that is saying that Shannon Sharpe did sexually assault her throughout their according to reports, they were in a relationship for about 2 years, starting back in 2023. And there's just all sorts of crazy things going on with this situation right now. And unfortunately for Shannon Sharpe, things are not looking very good. She is being represented by Tony Busby, and that name may sound familiar to some of you. Tony Busby is the attorney that does represent women in a lot of these high-profile cases dealing with high-profile people. As of recently, he did run into a snag with a woman that came to him looking for representation who was accusing Jay-Z of sexually assaulting her. And for some reason or another, that case fizzled out because I guess as they began to question the woman, there was lots of things that she said she couldn't remember and dates that didn't match up. So that case fell flat. And a lot of people are accusing Tony Busby of being the type of lawyer that likes to shake these wealthy, high-profile men down. So that is causing a lot of people to question the validity of this case. But what is particularly different about this case for me is that there has been audio release of private phone conversations that Shannon Sharpe had with this woman. So again, like I said, that to me is one of the reasons why this is not looking very good for him, because there's audio and then you can hear him saying things that are not very favorable for him in these conversations. It does make him look very bad. So I don't know what the outcome of this case is going to be. I don't even know if these allegations are true. But one thing that I have come to understand about these cases is that the best thing for people to do is kind of just reserve judgment until all the specifics and facts of the case come out. But this has started a broader conversation as it relates to Black men who are in interracial relationships, because this is a Caucasian woman. And, you know, a lot of people are saying they don't feel bad for him because Black men have a tendency to never learn when it comes to entering into relationships with white women. So that is one of the arguments, you know, that people are basically saying why they don't care about what happens to him in this situation. And then another thing that has a lot of people talking is the age difference between Shannon Sharpe and this woman. Now, it is being reported that he entered into a relationship with this woman when she was 19 and he was 54. So a lot of people are like, okay, that's very strange and creepy and predatory because of the obvious, very wide age range between them when they begin to date. Now, me personally, I have a 21-year-old daughter, and I would not want her to bring home someone who's 54 years old. That is well, now Shannon Sharpe is 56, but at the time he was 54. And I don't want my daughter bringing home someone that she says she's dating who's 14 years older than me. So, I mean, it does look bad on his behalf. It wasn't illegal, so there's no criminal charges. But it was unethical, in my opinion, because...
Wait. Are we talking about a sexual assault case?
Yes.
So definitely some illegal. It has to be something illegal there.
She was 19.
Yeah, but, I mean, not just solely upon the base of age, but if we're talking about this because there's some criminal something going on there, right? There's some kind of criminal activity behind the scenes,
Well, yes, actually, you're right. You're right from that perspective, because I'm thinking about, like, I guess you could say the statutory part of it.
Right, yeah. Well,
but she wasn't a minor, but you are right. The sexual assault aspect of it. But that's the thing in this situation. And that's why a lot of people are calling into question, well, is this true? Because it's a civil case, and as far as we know, it hasn't been reported as of yet that any criminal charges have been filed. And these situations, in my opinion, are very tricky, especially, I'm not saying that you can't be sexually assaulted by someone you're in a relationship with, because you can. But by them being in a consensual relationship, it leaves things open to question, like, I mean, you were consenting to sexual relationships with him, so was it sexual assault? Or so, like I said, there's a lot of people questioning this. But again, what people are talking about more so than the specifics of this case is how it doesn't look good on Shannon Sharpe's behalf. Again, he was 54, she was 19. So out the gates, people are calling him a predator because of that very obvious age difference between them. And they're like, why were you in a relationship with a 19-year-old at 54 in the first place? To me, it looks creepy. It does look predatory to me. Because, I mean, like I said, it wasn't illegal for him to be in a relationship with her, but it looked very unethical, and it just looks like he has poor judgment, poor decision making. I just don't understand what a 54-year-old man would want with a 19-year-old. And I listened to the audio. I heard the conversation between them. And it's like, it sounds like he's talking to his daughter or she sounds like an adolescent. Like,
you heard the audio?
I heard the audio.
Where is the Asian Center? So we can do this like.
I mean, I'm sure some people that already heard it and just. I mean,
I guess you don't have to hear it.
I could pull it up. And we could play it later. But she sounds very young. Like, I'm like,
yeah, well, we got pictures. She's on the thing.
She sounds like my niece, who's 16.
Well, she's 19. She was 19 at the time, right? So
she was a teenager.
Yeah, she's still very young.
If she was in her early 20s, she would have still been very young. But she was a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And still though, she still was a teenager that, according to him, was the OnlyFans model. Not all teenagers are built the same, right? Let's not act like, right?
But yeah. But then when people say you're a predator and then you get upset, it's like, in my opinion, a 54-year-old man dating a teenager, to me, that's predatory.
Yeah, well, nobody can't, what's it called? Nobody can't argue with that, right? But in the same breath, right? When you're talking about somebody that has an operating OnlyFans account, and I've never been on an OnlyFans account, so I might be making a blanket statement that might not be true here.
But what does that have to do with anything, though?
Because from my understanding of OnlyFans,
okay,
it's semi-selling yourself for sex.
Was it OnlyFans or Instagram?
I'm gonna pull up what I'm talking about here. So, shout out to Palmetto.
Yeah, but they were in a consenting relationship, according to her lawyer, according to him, that lasted for like 2 years. So at what point did you hire her for sex and then she became your girlfriend? Like, you were involved with this woman for 2 years. This wasn't a fly-by-night, one-night stand or anything like that.
What? Well, you gotta say that again.
I'm saying they were in a relationship for 2 years. So it wasn't like it was, I'm going to hire this OnlyFans girl to hang out with me for the weekend.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not like... So, because I hear you comparing this girl to, like, your 21-year-old daughter, right? That's not the same. It's not the same.
I said I don't care. I wouldn't want my 21-year-old daughter dating a 54-year-old man, regardless of how she looked or act or whatever. A 54-year-old man is older than me.
No, I'm not arguing that point at all.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, when we're talking about a 19-year-old girl, let's not blanket it and act like all 19-year-old girls are the same.
I don't care.
Not trying to justify a 50-year-old man dating a 19-year-old girl.
There is no justification for that.
I'm not trying to justify it. So that's what I'm saying is that two things could be said true at the same time. We can't act like this is some innocent little teenager.
It doesn't matter. He's a grown 54-year-old rusty-ass man. He should be the one exercising better judgment than a 19-year-old 1 year removed from high school.
Yeah, but there was nothing illegal about it. So you're talking about...
So that doesn't make you look good. It makes you look like a creep, which gives her case more validity because you made a poor choice, is my point.
Honestly, that's not what makes it gives more...
In the eyes of the public, it does. Actually, and the mass majority of the public.
Actually, what's actually more important is the fact that he had offered a hush money. That's more important than anything, regardless of age or anything like that. You offer hush money, you're admitting guilt. That's what's more important to me. Can we get into the video? Because he is talking about it. They talked about it, and
yeah, we can get into the video. We might as well hear his rebuttal to these accusations.
My family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
I mean, do I feel sorry for him? No, I don't.
It sounds like he's trying to.
He sounds like literally like somebody who's trying to kind of like get ahead of a situation that he knows that it's fucked up. That's what I hear. That's all I hear there. You know, I hear him talking about things like even at the end there where he says something like, "Oh my career is at is all about
real talk
it,
and truth or
What
whatever."
he wanted to say was, "My career is in jeopardy." That's what he wanted to fucking say, right? Like he didn't let.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: your career with women, sir, it just took a big blow. I think them Club Shay Shay ratings among women is about to be on the decline, and not only because she's accusing you of harassment, battery, and sexual assault, but I hear more people talking about the fact that your old behind was 54 and she was 19. You're already been called a predator all over social media. So that's one thing that's just like already hurting them, because he can't say she wasn't 19 because it's already been proven that she was. So I mean, it's just certain things about the situation that he's not going to be able to get away from. Now, was there a sexual assault that occurred? Because that is the criminal. Well, actually, the battery is too.
Yeah, but there's no criminal charges, right?
Not at the moment. There hasn't been any reported.
So, yeah, all right.
Now, as far as the $50 million suit for these 3 allegations, it's looking like they're going to get some money. I don't think this is, I personally don't believe that this case is something that's going to go away. I think they're going to end up settling for a substantial amount of money because there's sex tapes, there's audio. So this is not like some of the other cases that have come and gone over the past couple of months. Because the things that are happening, it makes him look bad, regardless. Now, another conversation that is being had is, are these types of women, and I'm not going to, throw her completely under the bus, because sexual assault is a real thing. Women are sexually, men and women are sexually assaulted, but women are sexually assaulted at higher rates than men. And a lot of women have been sexually assaulted and they just don't talk about it.
So here's my thing on that though, right? The sexual assault is a criminal offense, right? So if there is no criminal charges, then I'm like, well, what the hell? Why isn't there criminal charges? Right?
Everybody always asks that question, I mean,
because it's like, okay, well, if it's criminal and it's criminal enough for you to ask for $50 million, right? I mean, if it's criminal enough for you to ask for $50 million, I think first thing you should have probably did was call the damn police.
But she was in a 2-year relationship with this man.
Yeah, but before you go to court and say you are going to sue for $50 million for something that is illegal.
But the reason why the lawyers, they run to Tony Busby, is because the civil suit is way easier than the criminal. Because by them having consensual sex and this not being some stranger, it's going to turn into a tit for tat. It's going to leave reasonable doubt in a criminal case because they've had sex with each other consensually several times. Of course, he's going to deny raping this woman. So it's going to be a case
like audio proof and stuff like that.
There's no audio proof of a rape. There's audio proof of sex, and there's sex tapes and stuff. But that doesn't prove somebody raped you.
Well, he said on this video that he believes that this guy is going to. He said out of his mouth on this video that.
But that's for the civil suit. That's not for the criminal case.
My point is, there is a video that Shannon Sharpe just admitted to that he said that he thinks that this guy is going to
because it's probably going to make him
30 seconds of it, right? Because it's going to make him look like he's guilty of a criminal act.
I didn't hear him say that.
Well, we're talking about sexual. That's just the sexual.
But they're not pursuing a criminal case. It's probably something he said in that video that's going to make him look bad, which is going to make it easier for her to win her civil suit. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they can prove that a crime occurred. And that's why a lot of times they go for the civil case.
Yeah, but you call the police and let the freaking police have
if she would have done it at the time of the sexual assault, she would have had a leg to stand on.
If I'm a judge and I'm in a civil thing, where is it? Because like the first thing, if you go out there and you get in an accident in your car tomorrow, right? And you decide I'm not gonna call the police. I'm gonna go home and call an insurance company and ask my insurance company to fix it. The first thing they're gonna do is ask you why you did. If you think it's serious enough,
doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that she's not gonna get some money from the civil case. He might just pay the money to make her go away. That's why they. Let me get to my next thing that a lot of people are talking about, because this is a conversation that it needs to be had. And again, I'm never going to say a woman is lying about being sexually assaulted. I'm just not going to come out the gates and say, oh, she's lying. But there are women that will file these erroneous claims against men because they know they're going to get paid.
Absolutely.
And she gets a fraction of this $50 million. She got generational wealth for the rest of her life.
From my understanding, she was already offered $10 million.
She turned down $10 million. She's going for the 50.
That's my thing. So if you were offered, that's where I look at Shannon and like, okay, you're obviously guilty if you're offering up $10 million.
Maybe he did that so she wouldn't do what she's doing now, which is go to the public and ruin his life. Like what may ultimately end up happening. So it may not mean that he assaulted this woman. He probably just wanted to make the situation go away. And she said, nah, if you offering me 10, I can go for the gusto and ask for 50 million and embarrass you because maybe he hurt her. And again, I'm not saying that she's lying about being assaulted, because I know the feminists go be on my ass if they think I say she's lying.
First of all,
I'm not saying she's lying. I'm not going to say a woman's lying when she says she's been sexually assaulted. But she would have to obviously prove that. And what we've been seeing happening in many instances, is that these women know that there's a big chance they're going to get a large settlement. So is this being used as a new way to get to a bag, which is a lot of people are saying. Are these women knowing, if I come out here and accuse these high-profile men of doing something to me, I'm going to get paid?
Yeah, and here's something that's very stupid, right? Very stupid. And, whether it doesn't matter what class of man you are, if you're out here...
Then we got a call coming in.
Okay, well, let me get my point in real quick. If you're out here having sex, being videotaped in somebody else's place, to where somebody else has that video, you're wrong. You're wrong. Have sex where you know you're not being videotaped, where somebody's not going to be able to incriminate you later.
Well, he wanted to be videotaped, evidently.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, boy, y'all out here doing foul shit and get shook when foul shit happens to you.
That's why nobody feels sorry for him or anybody like him, because you already know. No, you. That was somebody. You already know what's at stake, and you're going to OnlyFans to date somebody. Now, another Another thing that's trending on social media is "I told you so," and apparently that comes from the fact that when Monique was on his show, she told him he needed to settle down and find a woman his age, preferably a black woman, to settle down with. But he, for his ego, because what happens with a lot of these older men is that it's an ego thing for them when they can go and get a young, attractive woman. And it's like, first of all, somebody made a valid point on Instagram earlier. They're like, who records private phone conversations? That's what's making this look like a setup. Because she recorded their phone conversations. Like, who does that? So it seems like she was planning to get his ass all along from that perspective.
Got him. Whether it was planned or not, got him.
Listen, I'm not saying, I'm not debating. He was just stupid at the end of the day. First of all, you don't see all these other people going down like a house of cards out here for the same stuff, but you just had to go to OnlyFans to get a date. Well, I'm not going to say they went to OnlyFans to get a date because that's not what happened. But you met this young woman at the gym. You obviously found her attractive. You got into a janky relationship with her. Now, people are saying she's doing this because she obviously wanted more from the relationship, because there are text messages between them where she told him to put a baby in her, and she was looking for a come up.
She was looking for stability.
Right.
She was looking for stability. So even asking for a baby,
she was looking for a meal ticket in that regard.
Right.
Did the sexual assault happen? Possibly. But from the interactions and the conversations that she had with him, putting two and two together, it looked like, okay, this is somebody that she was trying to come up off of.
She was looking for stability.
Because the baby wasn't.
Honestly, women do that, right? Women do that. That's the thing that women do. Women thrive off of stability. Period.
But to accuse somebody of raping you, that's the thing that makes me upset.
I've been
like, if it didn't happen, please don't say it happened.
Right. Because
what you do is you make it hard for real victims. And people continue to say that over and over again. And then you do have women who make false allegations. That's a real thing. We can't pretend like women making up these allegations is something that doesn't happen.
All right, so here's what's real, right? Let me just go be as real as
real can fucking possibly be, right? So this is somebody that, Shannon Sharpe, is somebody that's very, very financially well off.
Right.
Right? This young lady sees an opportunity because he's obviously attracted to her, right? And she sees an opportunity to not just enjoy this one moment, right? So, hey, she wants it from the very jump. Hey, if he's gonna even take me to dinner, I want more than that. I want more. Like, hopefully he'll marry me someday. Okay, that shit starts to look crazy because I'm only 19 and he's 54. He ain't marrying me. Maybe I can get him to put a baby in me.
You can finish your point.
None of that stuff is working. So now, well...
Hey, Carl, you live. Just hold on a minute.
I'm sue her ass for the money, and I'm going to be financially set for the rest of my life, but she should have took the freaking $10 million and just call it a day. Like,
listen, you don't understand the comments that I've seen online about her not taking the $10 million.
That fucking money around.
You had grown ass, you had grown ass men talking about they would have sold a Gucci cat for the $10 million.
That's some Atlanta shit.
The dude called me talking about, listen, I would have sold my Gucci cat for the $10 million. Hey, caller, you live.
That's wild.
It's very wild.
Yeah, I'm not telling nothing but else. But anyway, but the whole situation to me, it just sort of like makes Shannon Sharpe kind of You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and then it's just, first of all, like, he just set himself up. As soon as somebody texts me something like no means no, I mean, that person's not gonna text back again. Like, you just, like, it just seems so set up and all sorts of weird stuff, and it's like, you know, it definitely seems like he was definitely plotting on him, and he allowed it, and he didn't put the things in place to where, you know, that this would look bad, that he would even be able to come up to him. But my thing is with the media. Now, Tony Busby is a known boy that cries wolf. He made all these lawsuits against Jay-Z and against different black men that never went anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And all it did was kind of like smear their name. And the fact that you have people like not Angela Yee, which I'm definitely going to get on her, because it seems like Tony Busby was paying these people to promote this lawsuit. And when you look at it, Angela Yee was definitely getting paid to promote that. And then she was like, "Oh, it's sad that people look at his claims as, you know, as they're not reliable, or they're not, trustworthy." I'm like, why is this sad to you?
Right.
Because she's getting paid. She's getting freaking paid. People are getting paid to promote this crazy lawsuit. Shannon Sharpe, he's just a Vic who just, you know what I'm saying, like, he doesn't have anything in place. Like, if you're going to do race play at the level of Shannon Sharpe with random errands,
what is this race play? Like, that within itself is just weird and sick to me. Like, what?
It definitely is race play, because he even said on the thing, he's like, yeah, there's going to be a 30-second video that comes out that every last single stereotype involved.
What is wrong with these black men that just do that? Like, don't you realize you're a bed bug? Do they not realize that?
That's what he wanted to be in the bed, I guess. I guess she's over there calling him a nigger and all sorts of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That when he said that, I was like, oh, he's doing some race play stuff. You know, he's over there grabbing her by the throat, doing like some rape stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shannon Sharpe always gave heavy coon energy to me anyway, though. So, like, cooning it up. But this just validates that for me. Like, definitely a coon.
Yeah, and the coons get it first. The coons get it first because they're so close in proximity. Yep. And see, that's what happens when you're close in proximity to these people. And, you know what I'm saying, and thinking you're all good with them, and thinking you just pick up some OnlyFans girl and nothing's going to happen. Like, you don't think every single pale person in a circle looks at them like a Vic, looks at them like a lick. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he's just letting it happen. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be a damn shame if he has to let go of some money for this. But he should have put things in place. You know what I'm saying? But a coon's gonna do what a coon's gonna do.
And then these women, they wait, boy, they're crafty. And like I said, I for one am not gonna say a woman is lying about something like this, but it does happen. Women do. There are women who have made up false sexual assault claims. Yeah. And to me,
if it's Tony Busby, representative is false, is a false claim. You know, I mean, he just solidified himself as really a false claim representative, and the fact that media is just putting light on this is so crazy to me, because he's just like such a all of his especially recently, all of his lawsuits against these prominent black men have fell to pieces, including Diddy. Like,
oh wow!
He couldn't. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't put a lawsuit on Diddy, and everybody's putting a lawsuit on Diddy that sticking at least somewhat, but his lawsuit wouldn't stick because it was completely false. He's the one that he's also put a lawsuit against Drewski and saying that he was using this Tony Busby. And saying that he was on the girl like a slip and slide and stuff like that. And then Drewski was like, man, at that time I was at my mom's house in Georgia with 91 nonsense in my banking account, and they proved it. He proved it. You know what I'm saying? So this guy is like a straight. He's not a good character. Just like the worst. He's the epitome of just like the vampiric lawyer person. You know what I'm saying? Tony Busby is. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes straight after black men being a white male. And that's just
so do you think Shannon Sharpe is innocent?
You know what I'm saying?
The question for you was, do you think Shannon Sharpe is innocent?
Do I think he's innocent? I mean, I think he just got involved in some race play. I don't think he like forcibly raped. I think there was rape involved. See, that's the thing. I think, with the race play thing, he's the big bad nigger, and she's like this girl, and like, that's part of the play is the rape thing. You know what I'm saying? Even him talking. So that's what I'm saying. He should have had a thing out. He should have had a contract for her to sign. It's like any communication that we do, anything that we do is going to be part of this race play thing. So you know what I'm saying? Like that could have covered his tracks, but he obviously didn't. And that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? So now you're doing something that if nobody knew you guys were consenting partners, then it could look like. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
And I believe that's what's on. I believe that's what's on that audio. And nobody's going. Even if he says it was race play, and then she says it wasn't race play, it's going to turn into this thing where who do they believe? And I believe she's gonna. I believe she's gonna walk away with a substantial amount of money from the situation.
Oh, that'd be so unfortunate because that just sets the bar for any black man. But black men need to get it together, start messing with these snow bunnies like Dr. Umar said. And for real. And then just the craziness, like if you're gonna do something like that, and you're Shannon Sharpe, a former NFL player, like you know what I'm saying, like you need to have something in place because if you know you're gonna be communicating. Because when I heard like I'm gonna choke you on site, to me that sounded like fetish talk. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like it was like but then you could take that same audio and turn it over and be like, oh, he was saying he was gonna choke me and blah, and that's exactly what she did. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all I'm gonna say is this: he was stupid, and as they say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
He won the stupid prize for sure. Won the stupid prize.
All right, well, thank you so much for giving us a call.
Yes, always. Shelley speaks truth.
Yeah, so Carla made some good points. Like, it very well could have been race play. Because obviously that's a thing. Like, I don't understand why anybody would do that. That's sickening to me. It's very strange. How could you get turned on by that? Like, do you not understand the history of what has happened in this country, and then you're going to go do race play? But that's what I'm saying. That is one of the things that a lot of people are also questioning. Like, are these black men just void of understanding? Like, do you not understand how many times these types of situations have occurred with other people, even down to the extent of, if we're talking about 70, 80, even, hell, not even that far back, 60 years ago, you could be lynched for being accused of something like this, and you just walking around acting like everything's all hunky-dory because it's 2025. You still live in the same country. You still dealing with the same types of people. That's the thing that is just baffles me. It's like they don't learn their lesson. What is it going to take for them to wake up and actually learn?